Good morning. I'm Carlton Sharp, pastor of Faith Christian Center Church, right here in Beaumont, Texas. And we're here on what's happening in our neighborhood. And today, my special guest is Dr. Shannon Allen. Welcome, Doc.
Thank you, Pastor. Glad to be here.
Tell us a little bit about yourself.
Well, Shannon Allen, born and raised in Beaumont, Texas.
What you say?
Been here my whole life. Westbrook High School graduate.
You a Bruin too?
I'm a Bruin. 25 years out. 25 years out. Yes, sir. Lamar University graduate, so homegrown girl, been in BISD for the past 20 years.
Wow. Now, Dr. Allen, you probably done just about everything in the district.
Well, not everything, but several things. You know, I began my career as a science teacher at Ozanne High School. Taught science there for about 5 years. Following that, I went to Price Elementary as a curriculum coordinator, so I was able to serve in that capacity. Then I went back to Ozanne High School as a magnet coordinator / assistant principal. Then in about 2007, I was promoted to principal at Marshall Middle School for a number of years. And then in 2015, I went back to Ozanne High School as a principal. And then I was blessed with an opportunity in December of 2015 to be promoted to the assistant superintendent over secondary schools. And then again, earlier this spring, I was promoted to associate superintendent over secondary administration.
Wow, so you have a gamut of experience. I mean, your resume is just, I'm telling you. So in your new position, tell us what do you do?
Well, my primary responsibility is to oversee all of our secondary campuses. We have 12 campuses in the district that fall under the secondary realm, 6 middle school campuses. We, of course, have 3 traditional high school campuses. We have a new early college high school, which we'll talk a little bit more about that later. We have a career technology program. We have an alternative program. So my responsibility is to oversee all of those programs, make certain that the students are getting everything that they need, and assisting those campus leaders in running their campuses.
Now, there's some great things that are happening, especially this year. I mean, you got some new things that are happening, and BISD is on the way up, I like to say.
Yes, sir, absolutely.
So now, there are some new hours that will be in place this year.
Yes, I'm glad you asked about that. We are tiering our system this year. We have new buses, which I am so excited about.
Yeah,
I think our kids are going to love it on the first day of school when those brand new buses roll out. We have over 100 new buses. Well, in order to ensure that our students get to school on time, we had to change the structure of our schedule a little bit to indicate 3 specific tiers. Therefore, school hours have changed. Our elementary campuses, not as much, but our elementary campuses will begin at 8:05. Instruction will begin at 8:05 and it will end at 3:25.
Okay.
For elementary campuses. Bingman Head Start, which is our pre-K campus, is a little bit different. They will begin at 8:25 and they will end at 2:30. Middle schools are a little later, parents, so 8:45 is the start time.
Wow.
Yes, a little bit later than last year to 4:05. And then our high school campuses, 7:20 to 2:40. So our high schools are a little bit earlier.
Yeah.
So we had to structure the schedule like that to ensure that our students could get to school on time with the new buses. But we're really excited about these buses, Pastor, because we have seat belts on the buses. We have GPS systems on the buses. Lots of new technology will be available once we get those things activated, you know, for the students. I think the parents will be happy. I think our students will get to school quicker and faster. And we won't have some of the issues that we had with the older bus fleet, because our previous fleet was over 10 years old. The average bus was over 10 years old, so it was time.
Now with the new buses, with the seat belts, I mean, it's going to be required that the students actually belt themselves in.
Students will be required to wear the seat belts. You know, with the new buses, we have new rules and policies and regulations that parents will receive from their campuses regarding students riding the buses. We want to take care of our buses. These are new. We want our students to have an enjoyable, safe ride. So we want to make certain that our students are aware of the rules and procedures. They will learn those on the first day of school. We're going to roll those buses out, and we're going to train the students, and we're going to train the parents. And parents will have to sign off that they understand the new rules and regulations for students riding and participating in the transportation program.
So if a parent is watching today, they will have some type of form that their child will have, and then they'll have to sign off saying, I understand that my child will have to do X, Y, Z in order to be participate on the bus
Absolutely.
program.
They'll receive that information from the home campus, and they will sign off, review those regulations, make certain they understand, make certain the students understand the regulations for riding the buses and following through, because we want all the students to be safe.
Yeah, yeah.
At the end of the day, we want every student to arrive at school safely and arrive at home safely. So we will ask parents to sign off on those regulations.
Now you also have online registration for school.
Oh, yes.
You don't have to stand in the line anymore.
This is exciting. This is exciting. We worked really hard this summer to get the online platform up and going. So last week, we were finally given the clearance to go ahead and release and push out the online registration. Therefore, parents have the opportunity to go register their student at home online. This is phenomenal.
Yeah.
This is phenomenal. It saves a tremendous amount of time. Of course, this week we still have our early registrations going on our campuses, and we're continuing those next week. But you can bypass a lot of that time if you are able to access the online portal through the BISD website, www.bmtisd.com. There is a link that will take parents directly to the online registration. Parents do have to have a parent self-serve access, which they can get that through that system.
Wow.
So parents who already check their students' grades and attendance, they can use that sign-in and password in order to access the online registration platform. If parents don't have it, they'll still be able to go into that link, set up a username and password, use that information to go ahead and register their students. So we are encouraging all parents to do this prior to the start of school. We need the information on our students. We need their safety information. We want to make certain that we have everything that we need in order to start the school year. So parents, even if they didn't have an opportunity to attend their campuses online registration, they still can do it at home. The platform is open and it will remain open. If they have questions, they can contact their school. And I know sometimes, parents, we're on cell phones now, Pastor.
Yeah.
So, you can't use your cell phone to access the system. You have to use a computer.
Wow.
So I know oftentimes parents, just use cell phones and we don't have as many desktop computers. Our campuses are available. If they contact their campus, the campus, of course, will open up and have opportunities for parents to come in and do that process online. But we do want parents to do it. So even if they missed their campuses on-site registration, which several of them occurred this week, we're encouraging them to please go on and register their students through that online platform.
Okay, well, how do I know if let's just say I moved to a different home within the city, and I need to make a transfer of my student from one campus to another campus. Can I do that online also?
No. You can go in and register your student. If they were a previous BISD student, you can register them, and they're going to automatically be fed into the school that they were previously zoned to.
Okay.
If you have moved and your student will be transferring to a different school because you have documentation to support that you live in a different zone, you will still have to go to that school with your proof of address documentation and all of those documents needed to enroll your student in that particular campus.
Yeah, and that's important for those who are viewing right now, because you just can't just pop up and say, I want my child to go to X school,
no, sir,
and I don't live in that zone.
The system won't allow you to do that. It won't allow you to do that. So if you have moved, you have to still provide those proof of address documentations and bring that information to the school so that they can verify that and then enroll that student on the campus.
Now, another thing that's happening is the school uniforms.
Oh, yes. Yes.
So tell us, what was the thought process behind the new school uniform program?
Okay, so our elementary students this year, 2017-18, are going to roll into the campus in their uniforms. Well, we worked through this process with our elementary principals. And school uniforms are a big plus. It's cheaper for parents.
Yes.
On a school campus, improves morale for the kids, reduces bullying, because we all
Everybody
look alike. We all look alike. Our focus is on instruction and education, not what we're wearing. On our middle school campuses, we all have a uniform. So we wanted to start and trickle that down to the elementary campuses with the new uniform. So parents were introduced last month to the new uniform. We've been posting on the news and the media, getting the information out there, making certain that they're aware that our elementary students will have a standard basic uniform, which is red, white, navy blue polo style shirts or Oxford style shirts, khakis, khaki pants, navy blue pants, khaki skirts, navy blue skirts, and then the little rompers for the little girls. They can wear those.
Yeah.
And I think at the end, I know parents were sometimes a little bit frustrated because of the change. However, when they see the results and the fact that we did the research, because we want to make certain that every child has the uniform. So we're absolutely going to work with those parents. Parents have until September, the end of September, in order to make certain that their child has the uniform. If there is a concern and they need assistance getting uniforms, contact their school, because we're working on getting donations and vendors to help support some of our parents who may need additional support. But ultimately, it's going to be easier for the parents. It's going to be easier for the kids. And it will, just improve the culture and climate on our campuses and reduce that bullying and some of that negativity that our kids fall into.
So every elementary, every middle school will have this dress code policy?
Elementary school is where it's new. It's been in place for middle schools, okay? High school students, they have a standard dress code, not a uniform.
Right,
okay?
right.
I want to explain that.
Right.
A dress code, we have standards of dress. At high school, you can't wear anything that you want to wear. So there's certain things that high school students cannot wear, but they don't have a specific uniform like our elementary and our middle school students do. But the middle school uniform has been in effect for several years.
Now, did you guys work with the local stores to say, hey, listen, this is what we're going to do, so that they can have enough inventory to roll out this program?
We did roll the program out in the summer. Okay. So we rolled it out in June, wanting to make certain that we could get approval from the board. And we contacted the vendors to, say, look, this is what's happening. We're getting ready to roll this out. I know this weekend, August 11th, 12th, tax-free weekend, so we know that they'll have extra things out. We priced for parents because we wanted to make certain that the selections that were made were affordable to parents. And ultimately, it is cheaper to put a child in a uniform than it is to go and purchase those regular school clothes. And I think ultimately parents are going to see that, and they're going to be excited about the cost savings.
Wonderful. Okay, well, let's talk about something else. Let's talk about the STEM program.
Yes.
First of all, tell us what the STEM program is.
Okay, STEM, science, technology, engineering, and math. So we're excited that at the Austin Innovation Center, we have a new STEM program that we're rolling out to our 4th graders and our 7th graders this fall. So students at all of our elementary and middle school campuses will have opportunities on a regular rotation schedule to go into the state-of-the-art lab. They will have opportunities to participate in hands-on activities and lecture series, to really engage their thinking in their minds and expose them to what's available in science, technology, engineering, math. That's the area that we're headed toward. So we want to make certain that we put the foundation in place for our kids at an early age through this program. Full-time position, excellent teacher who's going to be running that program. So we're excited about it. It's going to be great.
Now, when you talk about the rotation, what came to my mind was, I ain't going to tell how old I am, but we used to go to the planetarium back in the day, and so we rotated the school. Is that what you're talking about?
That is exactly what I'm talking about. And we still use the planetarium.
Wonderful.
We still use the planetarium for our students. So this program is located, in a different location, of course.
Yeah.
But students will receive a schedule. The campuses will receive a schedule, and students will be bused there, and then they'll have that opportunity to participate in the different things in that lab.
Okay. Now, not only do you have the STEM program, but you have what they call the CTE program.
CTE, Science, Career Technology Education Program. And this is something that we've had in our district for years. Our high school students, once they reach junior or senior level, they are still enrolled in the traditional high school, which is Central, Ozanne, or Westbrook. But these students who choose to participate in the Taylor Career Center, is the campus, they have opportunities to earn industry certifications. We're excited about the work that program is doing. This past year, our students earned over 2,000 certifications. In certifications in cosmetology, our students have cosmetology courses there, culinary arts courses there. We have an excellent welding program, automotive program. We have a child care program, so to teach students the skills that they need if they want to go in and become a certified a teaching assistant. So these programs are available for students. They participate on a half day.
All right.
Half day at their home campus, half day at the Career Center. And it's hands-on, and the students do a phenomenal job. But we want to make certain that the community is aware of the great things that our campuses and our students are doing.
Okay. Now, so you got the STEM program, you got the CTE program, but you also have an early college program. So tell us a little bit about that.
Yes. So during the 16-17 school year, last school year, our district was approved to start an early college high school. And an early college high school is a program where students in that program have the opportunity to earn an associate's degree by the time they graduate.
Wow.
So our students are dual enrolled, meaning they are BISD students, and our partner is Lamar Institute of Technology. So our students are taking college credit courses and high school courses and earning credit for both at the same time. So this is our second year going into the program. So we have just recruited a new group of students. So next year, the program will have 9th graders and 10th graders.
Wow.
It is located at the Austin Innovation Center on 69. And we are just excited about the potential and the growth and really the opportunity for parents. When you look at the cost of college, and
Yes.
you know this,
Yes.
Pastor,
Yeah.
college is expensive. And this is free. This is free. So students who any student can apply. They have to have the will.
Right,
They have
right,
to have
right.
the desire, and they have to have the motivation because they are doing college level work. They're taking courses by college level professors. So it's going to be intense, but it's an excellent, excellent opportunity for students who want to go that route. Early college high school is not a traditional high school.
Right, right.
So, you know, we don't have those traditional sports. You don't have sports there. You don't have your band. You don't
Right.
have your choir. You don't have athletics, okay? So that's one of the things, you know, that parents and students have a concern about. But this program is designed for a certain type of student.
Uh-huh.
If you want a traditional comprehensive high school program, all 3 of our high schools offer dual enrollment programs. But this is a little bit different because it's more intensive. As a student participating in early college, you are going to work academically all the time. So you're not going to have a lot of time to spend, you know, in after-school practices and rehearsals, you know. But the program does have, you know, clubs and organizations. We're growing the program. It's a new program. And we're trying to add those things that the students want. But that has been one of the issues that students and parents have. Well, why don't we have athletics? Why don't we have this? Well, it's not
Because
designed
the
for
focus,
that.
yeah.
The focus is for
Yeah.
you to get these college hours and get this associate's degree. And even if the students don't earn the associate's degree, we're encouraging them to earn that 42 hours in that core content area. This can transfer
Yeah.
to colleges and universities, of course, in our area. So if you go into college with 42 hours, what does that mean?
Yeah, that you're a sophomore.
You're going to graduate early. You
Yeah.
can graduate college in a couple of years.
Wow.
You know, you can save that money. So the student who is focused and intent on this type of program, this is awesome. So it's new. We're still recruiting students. We want to take in 100 students every year.
Ah.
We're almost at 100, okay, but we still have room. We have space for probably about 12 to 13 more students. Coming in 8th graders going into 9th grade. Now that's important.
Yeah.
Next year we'll have a 9th grade and 10th grade class. So parents ask, well, can my student start as a sophomore? No. They have to start as a freshman.
Okay.
They have to start as a
Okay.
freshman. So 8th grade going into 9th grade right now, if that is an area where your child really wants to focus on, and I want parents to understand, you don't have to be an AB student.
Uh-huh.
You don't have to be a straight A student. You have to have the desire and the will. It's intense.
Mm-hmm.
It's intense. The students are taking, you know, AP level courses for the district level content, and then of course they're going into those college level courses. So the profile is the student with the desire and the work ethic.
Uh-huh.
And the work ethic.
Now, at the end of this, though, when they finish that early college program, they have the ability to go out into the marketplace and make a whole bunch of money.
Well, they'll have an associate's degree. I
Right,
mean, these
right.
students are equipped with
You
an
know?
associate's degree, so the things that you can do with an associate's degree, you know, you will be able to do that. You will be able to do that. So that's exciting. That's exciting. So we're glad to be able to offer, you know, this new opportunity to our younger high school students.
Well, wonderful. Okay, let's talk about some attendance tips, because, I mean, we want the students to be in school. So, I mean, you have some tips for the parents that will help them out.
Absolutely. With the 17-18 school year starting, you know, we want to make certain that our students attend school. We want to make certain that our students achieve academically. In order to do that, we need them to be there. We reviewed the new school hours at the beginning, Pastor, and that's one of the things that we want to make certain we get out, because the hours have changed. High school is a little bit earlier. So we need parents to be aware that students need to be in class by 7:20, not being dropped off for our high schools, in class.
Yeah, in class.
What I want to make certain that parents understand, if students miss too many days of instruction, the law says you have to be in class 90% of the time
Wow.
each semester. If you don't, you lose credit. You can lose credit even on the elementary level. And we don't want that to happen for our students. And I think oftentimes our parents are unaware of the attendance rules and the attendance laws, but that's the law. So students must be in a course 90% of the time.
And that's good for you to state that it's the law, because, you know, no sense in running down to the administration building, because this is the law of the state of Texas.
This is the law, yes, sir. And students have to be in that course. So that means they need to be in that class, they need to be present and on time. When you exceed that, then you put the child is at risk of not earning credit, or going into a situation where you have to make up time and make up hours. But ultimately, when the child is not there, they cannot learn. They cannot learn. So we want to, you know, push our parents and encourage our parents, don't let them stay home if they just don't feel like it.
Yeah.
You know,
yeah,
if they're
yeah,
sick,
yeah.
absolutely take care of them.
Yeah.
Make certain that they stay at home.
But not just, I don't feel like going to school today.
But not just because I don't feel like going to school today.
Yeah.
Or they want to miss to do something early. Or we want to take a few days early and go on a trip or a vacation. That's important that students are in school. You know, oftentimes parents, especially on the elementary level, they pick kids up early. Well, I don't want to wait in the carpool line. I want to go ahead and get through that, and I want to pick my child up at 3 o'clock when the instructional day is 3:25. Those are documented. That counts as absences. Okay?
Really?
So days are parts of days. So parents think, oh, if I just picked my child up for a few minutes, that doesn't count.
Well, hold up, Dr.
It's days are parts of days. So it's really important that parents understand we really need that child to be there. If they're sick, a doctor's note is an excused absence.
But you know, some parents are under the assumption that if I let them go half a day, that means that they're counted for the whole day.
Elementary versus secondary is a little bit different, okay? And I think because the elementary attendance rules are different, and there's because mainly they're self-contained. Secondary, you know, the students have different periods, so we account for attendance every period. On the elementary campus, we have an attendance accounting specific time. So parents are under the misguided perception that, oh, if I'm at school by that time or at that time, then if I leave or miss half a day or the remaining part of the day without an excuse, okay, from the doctor, you know, and a legitimate excuse. If a child has a doctor's appointment, you turn in that note. If they are legitimately ill and the parent turns in that note, those absences are excused. But if not, if you're just picking the child up, those count against that child being in school 90%.
Yeah.
So we review that information at the end of the semester. We look at all students who weren't in class or weren't in school 90% of the time, and then parents get frustrated. Now, we know extenuating circumstances. We know some children have, you know, illnesses. Things happen. Well, that's different, okay? But just the regular, I'm getting to school late every day, or I'm picking my child up early every day, it's important for parents to know that that counts against that child's attendance.
Wow.
And if you pick your child up early every day, they can risk, you know, not receiving credit, losing time. And what happens is, if we're divided if it happens in the fall, then we'll assign, you know, makeup. You know, you may have to go to tutorials. I mean, there are different things that can happen. And ultimately, that child could lose credit.
Wow.
That child could have to go to summer school, which costs parents money.
Yeah.
It's in their pocket.
It's not free.
You know, if you have to go to summer school, you know, or they could lose credit and risk being retained. So we want to make certain that we get the word out to our parents early on, before the school year starts. You know, good habits. Let's get to bed early. Let's get to bed on time.
Yeah.
Okay? Because a lot of time, you know, our kids, especially our high school kids, you know, they're sleepy in the morning. We're starting a little bit earlier. So we need to focus. Okay, let's set a routine.
Yeah.
Let's set a schedule.
And now is that time to make that adjustment, because,
yes, sir.
I mean, let's face it, some of these kids are staying up later and later and later and trying to sleep late in the morning until 12 noon.
Well, you know, we have today is the 11th. School starts on August 28th.
Yeah.
So if parents haven't started that process of getting them back into
Now's
a
the
routine
time.
with a regular schedule, now is absolutely the time. Waking them up, breakfast, you know, making certain they get their breakfast, and then timing, getting them to school at the time. Students who are riding the buses, you know, that information on their specific routes will be available at the campus.
Yeah.
I know the transportation department is working on getting that information out to parents so they'll know it. They'll know the time to be at the bus and what time to expect that bus back. So we want parents to start looking at the routines right now, but putting that focus on making certain that they're there. You know, work toward that perfect attendance.
Yeah.
Work toward those perfect attendance goals for the students. You know, teaching them that work ethic, that's powerful.
That's powerful.
You know, they're getting ready to go into the workforce after they leave high school. You have to go to work.
And be on
You know,
time.
you have to be on time. So let's train them right now and make them conscious of that right now.
So are there any other tips that you want to share with the parents that are watching today?
Just make certain that you pay attention to your child's attendance. You can check your attendance on Parent Self-Serve. Okay.
Oh, that.
You can check attendance on Parent Self-Serve. You can check discipline and grades on Parent Self-Serve. So that's important. So, you know, especially when we get to the older kids and you want to see what they're doing, you have opportunity to look at that. You can check that.
And that's a good thing to say, Dr. Allen, because you could actually set a alert
Yes, sir.
for your child's grade before progress report.
Before progress. Thank you for bringing that
Yeah,
up.
I mean, we wait till the last minute and want to get upset where this Parent Self-Serve, you can monitor your child the whole time.
Parent Self-Serve is an excellent, excellent tool. And I'm glad that online registration is connected to it. So parents, you know, you've got to register your kid.
Yeah.
So in order to do that, if you don't have a self-serve login, you have to go through that process first. But now that you have that login, it's a powerful tool. Just as you stated, parents have the opportunity to check their child's grades. If I want to make certain that I know every grade that a teacher records that is a failing grade, for example, or less than a 70,
Yeah.
or 75, or 80, whatever parameter that parent sets up, they can do that, and it'll send them an alert, and they will know, oh, okay.
Yeah.
So I know Susie didn't turn in this assignment. So you can question, you can stay on top of it, and that goes a long way when students know that mom and dad is looking at their grades and not just waiting for their progress report or their report card.
Right,
okay?
right.
When students know that parents are looking, I mean, that makes them more conscientious, and they know they can't get, well, oh, the teacher didn't do. No, I know. So that is very important. And I also want to emphasize something else, you know, with parents. Parent self-serve is there. You don't ever have to wait for that report card grade.
Exactly.
You don't ever have to wait for that progress report grade. And one thing, you know, parents will say, well, Johnny said they didn't get a report card. We don't miss report card dates.
No.
We don't miss grade distribution dates ever. Ever.
It might
So
be in
if
their
Johnny,
backpack.
it may be in the backpack.
Or they threw it away.
You know, but if Johnny says, oh, well, they didn't give report cards out on the day that's posted. No, ma'am, we always distribute those grades. But we do encourage parents to have that option so that they know those grades beforehand. They know every grade that's input so they can keep track, so they can help refocus their student to get them on the right track, because we want our students to be successful.
Right, right.
We want our students to graduate on time. We have a little over 19,000 students that we work with on a daily basis. And our ultimate goal is to see those students walk across the stage at the end of the school year from whatever high school they attend and be active, productive citizens in the community, to enter college or the workforce. I mean, that's our goal. So every thing we can do to support, we're going to do it. But we want that partnership with the parents.
Right.
We want that support from
And
the
I want to
parents.
stress that because, you know, I hear the stories all the time about parents at the end of the year saying, well, I didn't know little Johnny, you know, was failing this class. Well, with Parent Self-Serve, you can know literally on a daily basis.
You know, on a daily basis.
You know, if he did his homework and the teacher put that grade in there, I mean, you know, I loved it. You know, when my kids were in school, I loved it because I set a standard, and when it went below that, I knew the day of. I mean, immediately.
And one thing I want to encourage parents to use it. One of the things that we do encourage, we require our teachers, they have to update it once a week.
Yeah.
Now, we do have some parents who use it, who love it, and they'll check it every day. You don't need to check it every day. Okay? And then they'll get frustrated. Well, the teacher didn't put, well, the teacher has to put in grades once a week.
Yeah,
okay?
that's
But
good.
they don't have to update it every single day. So you don't need to check every day. You'll get those alerts if you set up those parameters that'll let you know when grades are input that are below the standard that you set. But you don't need to check it every day. Check it once a week. If there's an issue and you're seeing that a particular teacher is not updating it, contact that child's principal. Contact the principal so the principal can make certain that that information is updated. But I wanted to, you know, share that with parents because I think once they get into it and they really see it,
They're looking for it on a daily basis.
they'll look at it on a daily basis, especially when you're monitoring your student's grade and you giving them parameters and you've told them, hey, you need to get this grade up. I want to see what you're doing here. But just I want to let them know, check it once a week.
Yeah.
Check it once a week.
Now, what about behavior? I mean, because, you know, having a class that, to be productive, you have to have students that don't have behavioral problems. So what about behavior in school?
You know, that is very important. That is very important. You know, our job as educators, we work with the whole child. We work with the whole child. We need the support from the parents
Yeah.
to make certain that they reinforce the expectations that we have at school for our students. We expect our students to respect adults,
Yeah.
to respect the authority on the campus. We expect our kids not to bully, not to harass, not to hurt, harm, or physically touch any student, not to say inappropriate things to students. We go over all of the expectations at the beginning of the year, you know, in the student code of conduct, in the student handbook, which will be posted online for parents, so they'll have the opportunity to look at, you know, all of the behavior expectations for our students. Now, we do understand we're working with children.
Yeah,
okay?
yeah.
Children make mistakes.
Yeah.
Our job as educators is to teach them, to redirect them, and to guide them. We want parents to understand we want what's best for the child. However, when students make mistakes, there are consequences for those
Yeah.
mistakes. There are consequences, you know, and we don't want our students to engage in those consequences. And oftentimes as parents, you know, we want the best for our kids, and we want to protect our kids from those consequences.
Yeah.
That's not always the best thing.
Because it's a learning experience.
It's a learning experience. So I want to encourage parents, you know, trust those principals, trust those administrators and those educators to make the best decision for their students. But as a parent, talk to your child every day. Talk to them about what's happening at school. Hey, what's going on? Keep in communication with the principals. You know, if you hear some things maybe going on or your child is having a problem, this is one of the things that I really want to encourage our parents to let our kids know. Tell the teacher at school, tell that principal at that school, tell the child to tell the teacher or the principal.
Yeah.
What happens oftentimes, parents tell the students, you need to let me know. And they absolutely have to let parents know.
Right.
But things happen during the school day that we can circumvent, that we can stop, that we can get a handle on. We don't know about it. Because parents tell the children, make sure you tell us, but we need to reinforce, tell the teacher at that school,
Right.
tell that principal when it's happening at that school, so that principal, we can get on top of things a lot faster. Our principals can help and assist and stop a lot of situations, you know, before they escalate and get out of hand. But, you know, we find out student didn't report. Student didn't tell an adult on campus. So things that we could take care of, you know, sometimes, you know, are escalated when they could be resolved earlier on. So parents, communicate with the child, make certain that they have an open line of communication, and they talk to them about what's happening, you know. If someone's bothering their child, we need to know it. We want to know it. But we want to also teach our students, you know, tips on how to stand up for yourself, how to speak up.
Right,
you
right.
know. Speak up for yourself.
Right.
You know, if someone's saying something or doing something, tell them no. Tell them to stop. You'd be surprised how many students don't do that. They don't feel that confidence. So we want to build their confidence. You can say no. You can tell someone to stop.
Right,
You know,
right.
that you don't like that. I don't want you to call me that. And then you report it and let someone know.
Okay. Now, if a child is having academic challenges,
Yes.
tutorials are provided at each campus, right?
Yes, sir. We are starting the school year out. So after probably the first 3 weeks of school, we will have, you know, tutorial options available for our parents, okay, to know. We'll communicate the information to them so our parents will have the opportunity to, you know, get their child in tutorial sessions, you know, to give them that additional support that they need because we want them to be successful.
Yep.
You know, one of the things that I will encourage every parent, especially elementary, middle, high school, is reading, okay? Reading. Reading to child, primary students, K1 and 2, you know, they're learning those foundational skills. But if students see their parents reading to those parents as they learn those skills, we want the students to read. Take them to the libraries, make certain that they're reading, that you have reading materials in your home, and that you are requiring and expecting them to read. And then quiz them about it. What did you read? What is this about? Talk to me a little bit about this story. You know, have that dialogue with them, but we want to make certain that our students have a love of reading, and we want to foster a love of reading. But parents can help and assist and do that. You know, let them see you reading a book. You know, let them see you reading a newspaper. You know, online articles. But reading things with them and then having discussions about it to see what their comprehension level is. You know, and as a parent, if you, as you're working with your child and you see some concerns, communicate with that child's teacher. Don't wait. You know, don't wait. Send them emails. You know, send them communications through self-serve. You know, you can call the school, of course, and they will get back to you so we can resolve whatever concerns, you know, because we don't want any child to fall through the cracks.
Okay, couple more items. Let's talk about this homework policy that you know, last year, you know, that was the thing. Kids always come home and say, I don't have homework.
Okay. Okay.
Dad, I don't have homework.
Okay. Students have, if a child says they don't have homework, they always have homework because they need to read a book.
They need to read.
They need to read a book.
Exactly.
Okay.
Exactly.
They need to read a book. We try, we try to get, our students to do that practice, a lot during the day. We do. We try. So often, if they didn't finish their work during the day, they will have homework. Okay. So if a child is repeatedly saying they don't have homework, you need to contact that child's teacher and to verify that. But you also need to look at parent self-serve. That's going to tell you some things.
Yeah,
if you have zeros, you'll be able to see what those assignments were.
Yeah.
And you'll be able to see if homework was assigned and whether or not that was turned in. So those are some check and balance systems that are in place. But I will tell you, a lot of teachers, we want to make certain that we work with those students and may not necessarily assign an additional homework assignment. However, if students didn't finish that work in class during the period, that work would be assigned. So I wouldn't fall for that one, Pastor. Hey, I wouldn't fall for that one.
That's the okie doke.
That's the okie doke.
Okay, finally, let's talk about the finances. I mean, how is the district looking right now?
The district is looking really good. We have worked really hard. Our finance team, under the direction of our CEO and our superintendent, have done a phenomenal job, restoring the finances in the district. Pastor, when the district was put under the authority of a board of managers 3 years ago, we had huge deficits in our fund balance. And over the course of the last few years, our team has done an excellent job restoring the fund balance. And that's really, the fund balance is like your money in the bank. You want to have 3 to 6 months, if you can, operating costs, in your fund balance so that, if something happens, our area is prone to hurricanes, we would still want to pay our folks. We'd still want to have operating monies there. So, when the board of managers came in, we were at a deficit. So now, we're in a position where we're in a good place. We received a clean audit, when our information is audited. So that was awesome. That was a huge deal, in our first rating, how the state rates our finances. Excellent. We received a good rating. So, we're proud of that. We're proud of that work that our team has done. We watch things, we manage. We want to make certain that we are good stewards of the taxpayers' money. Bottom line, in the story. And I think that the improvements in our finances over the last several years have proven that, we're doing that, and our district is on the right track.
Wonderful. Well, listen, I want to thank Dr. Allen for coming and sharing all of these great things that are happening in BISD, and great things are happening. Now, listen, I put the website there for the school district. Know this, the school hours are changing. So parents, be aware of that. The school hours are changing this year. Also, the bus schedule is changing. So you need to go online and look at the bus schedules. Let's see, what else? The uniforms. Elementary will now have uniforms. So go ahead and start now, preparing your child for uniforms, because it's going to be mandated by September. September is going to be full-fledged. You have to have a uniform. And so all of those things are online right now at bmtisd.com, and you can see all of that information there. And so I want to thank her for coming and sharing all this information on STEM, on CTE, on the early college program, all those good things that are happening in our district. So thank Dr. Allen again for coming in. Thank you for joining us today on what's happening in our neighborhood. And we will see you next time on our broadcast.